a salary cap be good for football? Has the money gone too far in the game? Lee is a Leeds fan and wants to have his say. All right, Lee?
Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, guys. Great show, by the way.
Cheers, mate.
Lee, talking about salary caps.
I just want to flag you up, Jamie, on your
Go on.
reality of the pay that footballers get.
Go on.
Your average working man, I work for myself, your average working man might only earn £2 million across his entire lifetime.
Okay.
These footballers are earning that per year.
I know, but they're not average. But they're not average men, are they?
You need to get real.
No, but they're not average men, though, are they? They're extraordinary. They're extraordinary athletes at the highest level.
It doesn't give them a right to earn.
Well, it does give them a right.
Times more.
Well, yeah, it does.
It does. I take my son to watch Leeds on a regular basis.
Right.
I can only take him to maybe 6-7 games a year because we can't afford to go to any more.
Right, but that's fine. But that's fine. But footballers are in a different category, Lee. Footballers earn crazy amounts of money because they're at the top of their game, and they're playing in a multi-billion-pound industry.
It's not only last for a lifetime. You're talking that they'd earned enough money in a year that your working man earns in a lifetime.
Right.
You're devoid from reality.
But you don't have a salary cap if you're a banker, if you're a stockbroker, do you? You don't have a salary cap. You have the right to earn as much money as you can. If someone's willing to pay you that money, then you deserve it. They get paid a lot of money, but you can't put a salary cap on them because you're not happy about it because the average man, they earn more money than the average person. Well, they're top football players. They earn a lot of money.
Where does it stop, Jamie? How much do you want them to earn? £1 million a week, £2 million a week?
Well, if that's what they deserve, and the clubs can afford to pay it, these are multi-billion-pound industries. You know, we've got some of the richest people in the world who run these football clubs in the world.
I work in the shop fitting industry, Jamie. It's a multi-billion-pound industry.
Right.
I don't get paid $1 million. You know that. Football.
So what do you want? Do you want the lead centre forward to earn? Do you want the lead centre forward to earn £60,000 a year?
Well, that's got to do. Because footballers deserve to earn some of the money they're earning, but a salary cap is going to make sure that football doesn't eat itself.
Salary cap will ruin the football players over here. They'll go somewhere else. Football players will go where they get paid the most money. That's why Premier League is the best league in the world because we pay the most. So the best players will come here.
It's got to stop somewhere, though, Jim, because football is eating itself. Your fans are not going to games because they can't afford to go.
That ain't because of footballers. That ain't because of the footballers.
They're taking the most money out of the game. It's not who's taking the most money out of the game. It's the footballers, agents, footballers, and it's only got to be supported by fans, TV rights. It's not sustainable.
But isn't that a question of the
footballers' wages continue to go up?
Lee, isn't that a question for the clubs, though, who are charging the fans extortionate prices for tickets? Yes, they need the revenue to pay the players, but they're giving out the contracts to the players, the clubs.
I agree with you, Gabby. The clubs have got to have some responsibility.
Yes.
But the clubs that's going to vote for the salary cap won't win because your big so-called 6 clubs don't want those clubs to break into the top 6.
Yeah. But I agree with you, though, Lee, on the point you made about you can't afford to take your kids to more than 6 games. For the average working man and family, they should be able to go to every game. The price of tickets should be a lot lower.
But I agree on that footballers' wages.
No, that's nothing to do with footballers' wages. That's on clubs. It's like 2 different points you're making there, mate.
Well, I think we'll have to agree to disagree.
Lee, sorry, what do you do? Lee, what do you do?
I run my own business, shop fitting business.
Shop fitting. All right. So you're at the top of your business, right? But you have a salary cap on what you can earn in your business. No, sorry, Lee. You that's it now. You can't earn any more than £100,000 a year. But you've got a job of someone IKEA want you to fit out one of their massive stores. They're going to pay you £600,000, but you can only earn £100,000 of that because we've got a salary cap. How are you going to feel?
If I were taking more money out than my business sustainably could pay me, and it was going to affect my business long time, I'd be happy with somebody to say you can only pay yourself that money because the business has got to be sustainable. Football will not be sustainable if it carries on.
That's garbage. Lee, that's absolute garbage. That's rubbish. You're talking rubbish. Football clubs are getting richer and richer every week. Clubs got bought for 100 million. They're worth 4 billion now.
You tell Sheffield Wednesday that.
Well, Sheffield Wednesday have got a terrible owner. Sheffield Wednesday have got a terrible owner.
You tell Leeds United that 15 years ago.
Well, Leeds United are in the Premier League. They're doing all right, aren't they?
You go tell Liverpool that when they nearly went out of business.
Liverpool just won the Premier League. They're one of the biggest clubs in the world. They just spent 500 million pounds on players.
They nearly went out of business. Football is not sustainable.
Oh, Lee, you're talking garbage. Lee, you're talking rubbish, mate. You're talking rubbish. Premier League is full of money, and that's why all the players come here. Let's go to Mark. He's a United fan. Mark.
Good morning, Mark.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
I'm all right, Mark.
Mate. You all right?
Listen to you every morning. Right, Jamie, you keep saying that these players deserve the wages. They deserve it. I know they have short-lived careers, but, you know, a lot of Italian players, they invest their monies into businesses, so they've got money coming in at the end of their careers.
Right.
You know, I'm a Man United supporter. Man United players, half of them, haven't deserved the money that they're getting.
Why haven't they deserved it?
Rashford didn't even play. Rashford took himself out of the game because he didn't want to play for Man United. His boyhood club that he supposedly adored and loved, he didn't want to play for. How did he deserve the money?
Well, because Man United were willing to pay it. So he's earned that contract. Man United offered him the money. He can negotiate a deal, but whether his performances warrant him being on 350 grand a week is up for debate. Of course it is. But Man United were willing to pay him that money because they can afford it. He's part of what their wage structure is. So they offered him the money. Whether he deserved to have it because of his performances, well, that's why they've got rid of him. But Barcelona are paying him it.
Unfortunately, life used to be about pride in your work. Everyone had pride in the work. No matter what you did.
You're telling me Rashford hasn't got pride in his job?
People don't have pride. Who has pride to sit on a bench week after week?
But he ain't sitting on the bench. He's playing for Barcelona.
What pride is that? What pride is that?
He's playing for Barcelona
temporarily.
Well, but he's at Barcelona scoring goals. So
I guarantee
he's gone to a better club than Man United.
I guarantee you Barcelona will not take him full time. Just like Chelsea didn't take Jadon Sancho full time.
Well, he wasn't good enough.
Just like Aston Villa didn't take him full time.
But they took him.
He's already had problems at Barcelona turning in late for meetings. For this club that he now supposedly is a dream come true, and it's like coming home. Well, I'm sorry, he's already been late to a couple of meetings and been.
Well, Mark, you're going off on a different way, mate. We're talking about wages. Do you think there should be a salary cap?
But it's about the money, isn't it? There should be a salary cap. There should be. They have it in basketball. They have it in Australian rules football.
Basketball. LeBron James earns £150 million a year.
I know. But the rest of the team then, their wages then subsidised.
So what happens then if more players start going to Saudi Arabia, to Qatar, to Dubai?
Well, if they've got the money to do that, they've got the money to do that because, you know, they've got billions of pounds in Saudi Arabia. We don't have billions and billions of pounds in UK.
Yeah, we do.
Unless you start getting you've got Saudi Arabian owners.
Yeah,
You've got
they own Newcastle.
How many English owners own English clubs?
Jim Ratcliffe owns Man United. He's a multi-billionaire.
One.
Joe Lewis owns Tottenham, multi-billionaire.
Okay.
Todd Bowley, multi-billionaire. Tony Bloom, Brighton, billionaire. I mean, I don't know what there's billionaires that own these football clubs. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do know what they're doing. They do know what they're doing with their little toys. But what happens when they decide, I've had enough with that toy and chuck it away?
That doesn't happen anymore, though, does it? Another billionaire.
It ends.
It doesn't end. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. If a billionaire wants to sell a football club, another billionaire is going to buy it because these are assets. They're investments.
Okay, it goes in a full circle. Maybe not now. Maybe not in 2040, 50 or 60.
Mark, can I ask you a question, Mark? I want to wonder you know. Sometimes we have fans come on and they say players are earning too much money. You know, these players to get to the elite level, the sacrifices they've made. I know there's sacrifices in every job. The sacrifice they make as a kid, the talent that they've got. What would you say an average wage in the Premier League should be?
I would say what that player is worth to the club, i.e., how many goals they're scoring for the club, how many clean sheets they get for the club. You know, it has to be relevant to their position, to the job they do. You know, maybe you can give them that sort of money on a bonus-related system throughout their year.
If you score, you get paid.
No. Not if you score. If you put in the work to score goals. You can't tell me that all these forwards put in the work to score goals because they have to be supplied.
Jamie would never have got paid.
Honestly, I've never had so much rubbish in my life. All these people were moaning about like people earning money. Mark, thanks for your call. Like, if it was them, if it was in their job, in their industry, there'd be uproar. But because it's footballers and they earn astronomical amounts of money, and look, they earn a lot of money,
of course,
but they got a short career and they get taxed a lot of money. And they have to earn it while they can.
But Jamie,
and if the clubs are willing to give them the money, then they're going to take it.
But they don't just get rewarded for nothing. To get to the elite level of football, the Premier League, the sacrifices you put in. I mean, you get kids that during their teenage years, they're going out with their friends. Other kids they're training, they're doing extra. They've got training 3 days a week. They're trying to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? They're not going out as 19, 20-year-olds. They're concentrating on their trade and they're reaping the rewards. So I don't think there should be a salary cap. I think the players, extortionate money, of course, but that's the goal, isn't it? Because if some of the people that are calling, I'm sure if their kids were close to getting into a Premier League first team and getting that money, they wouldn't be calling in.
Yeah, look, the business that we're in football is, at the end of the day, it's a competitive business. If you're willing to pay someone more money, they're going to go to that place. Simple as that. So what happens is you compete, the money goes higher, clubs get more expensive, players earn more money.
Agreed.
You know, that's just the way it works. It ain't going to change.
I normally like this in the first hour.